I turned 57 today. No big celebration, no crowded room, no candles, no noise. Just a quiet morning, a cheap cup of coffee in my hands, in a small rented room that barely feels like mine. I don't have a wife, no children, no house waiting for me somewhere, no car parked outside. Some people would hear that and feel sorry for me. But for the first time, in a very long time, I feel okay. Actually, I feel free. It's strange how life works. If you had met me 10 years ago, you would have thought I had everything figured out. I had a stable career, a routine, a life that looked right from the outside. I spent nearly 3 decades working in the same field, moving between companies, chasing better positions, better pay, better titles, and I got them. But what I didn't get was peace. Every morning felt heavier than the last. The stress didn't just stay at work, it followed me home, sat with me during dinner, kept me awake at night. I told myself this is just how life is. This is what responsibility feels like. This is what being an adult means. You convince yourself of these things long enough, and they start to feel true. But somewhere along the way, something inside me started to break. Not all at once. Never all at once. Just small moments. Sitting in my car before work, not wanting to step out. Looking at my reflection and not recognizing the man staring back. Realizing that years were passing, and I wasn't actually living them. I was just getting through them. And then one day, it hit me harder than usual. I was getting older. Faster than I expected. 57 didn't feel far away anymore. And when I looked at my life honestly, there were still so many things I had never done. Places I had never seen. A version of myself I had never even met. That scared me more than anything. Not failure. Not risk. Regret. So I made a decision that didn't make sense to anyone around me. I walked away. From the job. From the routine. From the version of life I had spent years building. People thought I was losing it. Why would you leave everything now? You're too old to start over. This isn't practical. And maybe they were right. Maybe it wasn't practical. But staying was slowly destroying me. So I packed what little I needed and left. No perfect plan, no safety net, just a quiet belief that there had to be more to life than waking up exhausted and going to sleep empty. The first few weeks were terrifying. There's no romantic way to say it. I questioned everything. I doubted myself constantly. There were nights I wondered if I had made the biggest mistake of my life. But something else was happening too. Something small, but powerful. I started to breathe again. Really breathe. I began noticing things I hadn't paid attention to in years, the way the air feels different in a new place, the quiet comfort of being unknown, the simplicity of waking up without pressure sitting on your chest. I started traveling. Not in some luxurious, picture-perfect way, just simple places, cheap rooms, long walks, conversations with strangers who didn't care about my past or my resume. And slowly, something inside me started to come back. A sense of curiosity, a sense of calm, a sense of being alive. I realized something during those long, quiet days. We spend so much of our lives preparing to live that we forget to actually do it. We work for things we don't truly need. We follow paths we didn't choose. We stay in situations that slowly drain us just because leaving feels scary. And yes, leaving is scary. But so is waking up one day and realizing you waited too long. That's the part no one talks about enough. Time doesn't pause while you figure things out. It moves, quietly, constantly. And one day, you look back and wonder where it all went. If I have one regret, it's not that I left. It's that I didn't do it sooner. I spent years convincing myself to wait, to be patient, to be responsible. Someday, I told myself. But someday is a dangerous word. It keeps you comfortable while stealing your time. Now at 57, my life doesn't look impressive. There's no big success story, no fancy achievements, no perfect ending. But there's something I have now that I didn't have before. Peace. I've learned how to sit alone without feeling lonely, how to enjoy my own company, how to exist without constantly chasing something. And strangely, that's enough. More than enough. I still don't know exactly where I'm going, but for the first time, that doesn't scare me because I'm finally moving instead of standing still. So if you're listening to this and thinking, it's too late for me, I understand that feeling. I really do. But it's not always true. Maybe you don't need to walk away from everything like I did. Maybe your change looks smaller, quieter. But don't ignore that voice inside you. The one that keeps whispering, there has to be more than this. Listen to it. Because life, it doesn't wait. And it doesn't give warnings either. It just keeps going. So if there's something you've been putting off, something you've been telling yourself you'll do later, maybe don't wait. Not for the perfect time. Not for permission. Not for everything to make sense. Just take a step. Even a small one. Because one day, you'll either look back with gratitude or with regret. And trust me, regret is a much heavier thing to carry.